Good day, everyone. I am Michael, moderator for this webinar. I welcome everyone for today's webinar, which is Training Effectiveness, How to Develop Instruments to Measure Learning and Reduce Errors. I would now like to introduce our presenter for today, Dr. Jeanette Colazo. Jeanette Colazo, PhD, is an industrial organizational psychologist with 20 years of experience who specialized in engineering, psychology, and human reliability. I would now like to hand over the floor to the speaker. Over to you, Jeanette.
Thank you so much and welcome everyone. My name is Jeanette Collazo, like it was mentioned, and I'm going to be talking today about how to develop those tests, those instruments that will allow us to measure learning, in this case, of course, but we can use it for many other things. And the idea behind it is that we can defend as part of our training program that the training program has been effective. The moment in which the agencies decided that we wanted to make sure that we were finding the real reason and not just doing retraining, that was the moment in which they put a requirement to measure training effectiveness. And that's where all of this stands right here. So even though I'm going to talk about GMP regulated environments, FDA regulated environments, and so forth, this applies to every organization. That being said, that's what we want to do. We want to develop instruments that are going to prove that our training has been effective, and based on that, the person won't make errors associated to a lack of knowledge, lack of skill, or lack of ability, which is basically what training provides. Training does not provide anything else, just knowledge, skills, and ability. So the EMP regulations, they actually establish very clearly that that people need to be qualified, right? That people need to know what they're doing. In 211.25, it talks about specifics about, because we just saw that there are requirements. But then in 211.25, it says everybody needs to be trained. We have to meet the expectations of what this is, okay? The expectation of training is that people do the right thing. Training to human reliability, and that's what we want to achieve. So what are the types of errors that we want to avoid? 4 types of errors, okay? We have intentional, we have unintentional, we have omission and commission, okay? All right, so now let's put this together with the training program, and how does it look like? Because I do want to achieve this, right? So this is how it was worked on and implemented. The training program needs to have different critical components. Then we have skills training. Then the trainings that we do, initial orientation, this is very basic. Training events should be interactive. If you're going to be measuring training effectiveness and you're going to create a test or something like that, then it should be interactive. We start talking about the skills qualification. We won't go from generals to specific. One thing that I want to be very clear here is that you are going to do a skills qualification only for critical tasks. You don't have to do it for everything. Now let's talk about passing. Failures need to be documented. So what is a measurement instrument? Just so we know what we're talking about here. Is anything that I use to measure some construct or variable. All right. It can be a questionnaire. It could be a survey. It could be a test, a scale, or any other type of tool that is designed to collect data to assess or quantify a particular attribute or characteristic of interest. All right. So what are the types of instruments? For example, questionnaires and surveys, interviews, and then we have the tests. Then we have observation, physiological measures, computerized assessments. What are the types of validity? That being said, how is it that we're going to create tests? Well, we need to follow certain rules. The first thing that I want you to know is that we are going to create items. But one of the things that we do when we want to validate items is the difficulty index. Neither too easy, not too difficult. Now, discrimination is different. That it is done because we want the criterion to be sensitive to differences between individuals. And written evaluations is knowledge-based. So we have different types of written evaluations, true or false. So true or false we use when it's required that the participants recognize or identify correct information. Multiple choice we use when participants need to choose correct information. Matching is it's it's interesting because we don't use it a lot and it gives us a lot of information. So it is a type of test that our question format commonly used in assessments and exams. And then we have fill in the blanks, which is basically that, filling the paragraph or sentence. On the job training, this one is the one that we mostly use besides critical, written tests. Now, if we have training and we have tests and it's going to discriminate, some people might fail. And that's why you have a failure policy. We have to have criteria for retraining and disqualifications, training frequency and topics. Then we're going to review the effectiveness of the training system. And this is how we are going to use the metrics, the ones that are responsible for the training function. Deviations or non-conformances or investigation related to human performance, that's what we are going to measure in the training group. So just to give you a very quick, because I have this tool, it's more related to compliance, to compliance and records. The quality of the training is C. So we do cover everything that is part of the root cause determination tool. And that tool, this tool basically has 100% of the reasons why people make mistakes. The ones that are related to training are these, which are these. Thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you, Jeanette.
Okay, well, until next time, thank you so much. I'm gonna stop sharing here and then, yeah, until next time. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Bye.